So you have never done anything like this before? No. Okay. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to set the weather up first. So we're using live weather. Okay. So as you can see, it's pretty cloudy in Auckland today. But normally we'd listen to the tower and we'd check and see what the weather is. Now, because I'm so far away from Auckland Airport, there's no way I could tune in to listen to the radio. So what I do is I just do a quick Google, and I can get what the weather is actually doing at Auckland Airport. So it doesn't matter where you go in the world. If we were to go to, I don't know, Vanuatu or Fiji, Samoa, it would replicate the weather that's at that local station. Right here. So we have 1009. So right here, if you turn this to the left for me, okay, and you bring this one down to 1009. So if you turn this, so one hand here, turn it to the left, and make that 1009. Yeah. Awesome. Yep. Ah, that's 1099. So I want 10009. So keep spinning it back until we get all the way to 1009. Okay. So what you're doing is you're checking you're setting the altitude up. So see how the plane now agrees with you where the ground is? Awesome. Okay. So for takeoff, we want to set the speed for takeoff. So in here, can you put 146 for me, please? So if you turn this, 146. Everything is set up. Okay. And then here, we're going to do the runway heading, which is 051. So turn it to the right towards me. It's like a giant compass. And 051. And you can see it's just moving over here. And I'm just going to set that to the normal screen. Awesome. Okay, so over here we have engine readout 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10 is actually 20, 40, 60, 80, and 100% of power. Okay, so when I push forward on here, I'm going to get the little line, and wherever I stick the little line to is where the big line comes to, so that's 40%. If I push back on here, it goes to 20%, okay, and it comes back. So just like when you start the car, it's still idling, okay? That makes sense. Now, for takeoff, we'll need flaps 5, so if you lift this up for me, lift it up, yep, go down through 1, so push it down into 1, and then lift it up again, and go to 5, yep, and we can see the flaps starting to move now, okay? Now, see how we got the same screens? Okay, so see where it says 45 on the left over there? That's your speed. The right-hand side, the altitude, which we already played with. And then what you're going to be spending most of your time paying attention today is the little square in the middle. Okay, so the little square in the middle there is the nose of the aircraft. Okay, and that's where you're going to spend most of your time. Me and you, we get to look outside and get the nice, gorgeous view. Okay, I'm just going to take those on, just so we have fuel in the center and weren't using it. Okay, so let's talk about takeoff. So what we're going to do is, you know that 40% that I was showing you before? We're going to push it up to 40%. The parking brake's on, so we're not going to move. Once we get to 40 and the engines stabilize, so we should have similar readings, we're going to push the little button here, okay? As soon as you push this, the plane's going to bring the throttle all the way forward by itself, kind of like cruise control in a car, okay? So once that moves forward, I want both hands on here. In real life, we'd keep one hand on, but because we're using like smoke and mirrors to kind of make it look like a real aircraft, if you keep your hand on here, there's a chance you can break the servo on the inside. We're going to head down the runway. Your job is to look outside and use your feet to keep us nice and center, okay? So right is right, so your right leg's right, left leg is left. If you overreact, okay, she's going to overreact back, all right? Now, we're going to head down the runway. As yours, like I say, you're going to keep us nice and center. My job is to keep an eye on the speed. Once we get to 80 knots, I'm going to say 80. You're going to flick your eyes down. You're going to make sure that you have around 80 and just say checked, okay? And then bring your eyes back outside. The reason we do that is we want to make sure that our instruments are giving us the same speed, okay? Because if I yell 80 and you're on 200 and something, then who's right? Yeah. Okay? In real life, that's the case, we would abort and we wouldn't take off. You're going to continue down the runway, and at a certain point, I'm going to yell V1, okay? Now, V1 is basically just an imaginary line on the runway that once we cross, we can no longer safely stop, okay? So if I yell V1 and I suddenly go, ugh, you still have to go. You don't have enough room to stop. If I say V1, and the fire alarms go off, you still have to go, okay? We take the problem into the sky, all right? Because you don't have enough room to stop on that runway, okay? So V1, you don't say anything, it's just a mental acknowledgement that we're committed to take off. Finally, at about 138, I'm going to yell rotate. On rotate, we're going to pull back nice and gently on the stick. We go nice and gently, we go woo, we don't go woohoo, right? We nice and gently pull it back, and we put the black square on the 10 degrees line, okay? And that will take us into the air. The rest of the information I'll give you up there because there's a lot of information so far. Okay, so Give me 2 seconds to get myself nice and comfortable. Awesome. Make sure that is set up to the right trim level, which it is. Okay. So, are we ready for this? Yeah. Okay. So when you're ready, parking brake off. So push it forward for me. Push it forward. There we go. Up to 40%, please. 40%. There we go. So hold on. Come back. There we go. So we're looking at the little line. Okay, so that's about 40. Push the toga button. Awesome. Off we go. We're off to see the wizard.
Oh my God.
Okay, so right foot. So it's in your feet, remember? So right foot in. So a little bit of right foot in. And get us nice and center. So remember, it's not a steering wheel. If you start playing with this while we're going down the runway, you can flip the aircraft. Okay? So the aim of the game is to try and get your right knee on the middle of the runway. Okay? Okay. So your hands on your knees. Okay? It's all in your feet. When I say now, then grab the stick. All right. Because we were so busy trying to sort that out, we missed the 80, but there's V1. Rotate. Pull back, nice and gently. Put the black square on the 10 degrees line. Awesome. So see how the black square's gone up? So push forward. Other way, push forward to the ground. There we go. Now, the aim of the game is to put the black square on that 10 degrees line. So push forward, push away from you. There we go. And we're going to hold it on that 10. All right, so if you push forward, it's going to go there. So put that black square on this line. Other way, push forward. Okay, so we want to pay attention to this black square. And I want that black square on that line. So now you're pushing down. So now we need to pull back. Okay, so let go for 2 seconds. I'll show you. So you just let go for 2 seconds. What we're going to do is we want to try it, because everything's flying off this black square, okay? And we just want to try and hold it on that black line. There we go. So we're going to pull back, and then just leave it there, okay? Right, so positive climb, gear up. So bring the square out and up. So bring this, pull it out, so out, and up. Okay. Now again, we're climbing, so we're going to push forward. All right, so let go. Just let go completely. All right, I just want to explain a few things. We're about to stall. Okay, so the black square is the nose of the aircraft, okay? And what I want you to do is try and keep that black square on the pink cross, okay? So the cross is like a normal road. The square is the car, okay? Trying to keep the... There we go. So try and keep that square on the road. So, see how the road's going to the left? You need to turn to the left, okay? And it's all about focusing on that square. So turn to the left. There we go. So nice and gently on the controls. Okay. So hold on. What you're trying to do is, yeah, pause it. We're about to do a barrel roll. So, give me control just for 2 seconds. Okay, I'm going to show you something. Okay. So when I'm flying the aircraft, all I'm paying attention to is not outside. I'm paying attention to this black square. Okay. And the black square is the nose of the aircraft. Okay. So this makes it so we're level. Okay. So
Is
past Auckland City. Auckland City's to the left.
Just
There we go. So if you stay on that cross for me, it's going to turn to the left and stay with it.
yeah.
Don't go towards you. There we go. Yep, you're correct. Towards you. That way. So you got to bring the black square to the left. To the left. Keep yourself back on that cross. There we go. Perfect. Nice. There we go. So it's kind of like thinking of that cross is like the road. Yeah, we're trying to stay on the road.
On the road.
Yeah. There we go. If you look out to the left, there's Auckland City down there.
Oh, you going?
Towards me. Towards me to get yourself back on that square.
Watch the thing. We'll watch the other side. Pressures.
Nice experience.
Good job, you're moving too much.
I want to be able to give you the chance and the opportunity to learn. Right? If you make a mistake, that's fine. It's just if you start aiming towards the ground without having to like pause for a second. If it's nothing worse than coming in here and having my hands on there the whole time, that's no fun. There we go. So push forward just a little bit, get yourself back on the cross. Clear things up. You're going to cross, it's going to start going towards you, so stay with it. If you look, you can't look outside, but if you look outside, there's Gulf Harbour, Whangaparo down there.
Yeah.
We're flying down the North Shore, so North Shore Hospital is just down there.
Oh, yeah.
Being on the number 1 motorway and Waiwal Road is down there. And if you look gently up to the left
Oh,
side,
you're coming
you
from
see the
there.
city.
Our house is there.
Whereabouts do you live?
Hellcrest. Oh! Hellcrest.
The poor cabin crew are like, do you want a coffee? There you go.
Hey, you.
So all I'm doing up here is I'm using part of the autopilot to move the cross instead of getting left, right, up and down, which would get really annoying really fast. Okay. So you got full control of the aircraft. I'm just moving the cross basically. And we have about 30 degrees of wind pushing you at the moment. So it's like a sailboat.
The plane is actually not moving, right? Just
The screen, yes.
screen.
The screen itself is, she's about, she's 3 meters high, 5 meters in diameter. So she's quite a big screen. We advertise about 180-degree viewpoint, but she's more like 210 when you set up the front here. I feel like you get more of the motion when you're sat in the back because your eyes take the whole thing,
Yeah.
whereas we're so focused on the controls that sometimes we lose it, yeah.
That's good.
Alright, so it's towards me just a little bit. There we go. Come towards me. There we go. And it's still a little bit towards me. There we go. Now it's really important that I get you to learn to fly the cross because we're going to use that for landing into Auckland. But you're getting your head around it now, which is kind of cool. So we're about 15 minutes in and you kind of have an idea how to fly a 737. Yay! Now, in real life they'd have the autopilot on right now. But I can tell you from real life experience, so I used to work as cabin crew on these aircraft, okay?
Really nice experience.
So in real life, we did a Sydney...
Experience for it, yeah?
So in real life, yeah, this is exactly how it would be. Apart from the fact they'd have the autopilot on and be eating, fish and chips or steak and chips right now. But I did a flight from Sydney to Fiji, and we lost the autopilot halfway through. So the pilot had to fly the cross for half the flight. Okay, so we have to be able to do it. You can't rely on the autopilot all the time. Right, yeah. Okay, so can you push this button here for me?
Yeah.
Okay, and then just let go. Let go. So that's the autopilot on now. Yay! So what we're going to do, we're going to set things up for landing. So we're going to do an ILS approach into Auckland Airport. Any idea what an ILS approach is? Nope. It stands for Instrument Landing System. So if I was to make it very simple, just think of a guy standing on the runway pointing a laser beam in the sky. We're going to lock onto that laser beam with the cross and follow it all the way down to the runway. Now it's not a laser beam, but it's just the easiest way to describe it. So what we're going to do is we're going to get you to set the computer up. So if you press departures and arrivals for me, and the arrivals over here, and go next page, and then this one here, the ILS05 right, and then save it, and then we're going to go to legs. Okay, so we want, this is the first waypoint. Okay, so if you press long move for me, and press it over here, okay, and then what it's going to do, it's going to draw a line back to that waypoint. So if we press execute, okay, and then press L nav for me, the plane is going to start following that line. Now, we are not called watcher jet, we're called flyer jet. So if you double tap that button twice, one more time, you are now flying the cross. So what we've done is you've set the plane up to move the cross around, and you are now trying to stay on the cross. Okay? Perfect. We're going to land. So yes, if you, as long as you keep on the cross, we are going to be okay, he says famously. Woo! Awesome. So I think we're sort of up north at the moment, just looking at it. Yeah. So you've got beautiful satellite imagery of Auckland, which is absolutely cool. And you've got the 3D models as well, which is kind of helpful. Yeah, we're up north.
Safe landing, please, Trevor.
Start searching for a field, yep, okay. Awesome. There we go. It's actually amazing, because when you actually do come up here and you do fly and you see all the satellite imagery, you actually realize how many race courses there are for horses and stuff. There's quite a few of them in Auckland, which I never realized. Yep. Now, if you look down, right down there, I believe that's North Shore Aero Club, just down there. Okay, and then we're just off over here. Rightio. And push forward just a little bit. There we go, because we're going to start descending towards 3,000 feet now. So as we descend, you see the throttle automatically comes back, which is kind of cool. Woo. The clouds look really nice today, if I do say so myself. Now you can't really see it, but I know for a fact that Auckland Airport is just over there. So across the water, that other bit of land just over there is Auckland Airport. So we're going to heading down. Lion Rock is just to the right outside to the window. There we go.
You have to be straight, not like up and down.
Your poor cabin crew today, I'll tell you. So pull back and to the right towards me a little bit. There we go. Okay, so can you make that max for me? Can you turn that all the way to the right and put it on max for me? See if you can do two things at once. Yay! Up to the left. We'll come back round like that. There we go. Okay. Right, yeah. So if we wanted to, we could continue down the country and end up in Wellington. Or Christchurch or Queenstown. We could do it, and it's one for one time. But obviously you don't have enough time to do it, but we could. There we go. So this screen here is like Google Maps, so you can kind of see that very shortly we're going to be turning left. Just like Google Maps, we don't really use this to fly off, we just use it for information. Does that make sense? Yeah. There you go, you're getting the hang of it now. You're like a pro. Yay! Awesome. So just push forward ever so slightly, so we're just a little bit above the cross. There we go, because we want to continue the descent down to, we're going down to about 3,000 feet to start with. Now, there's an aircraft coming out of Auckland by the looks of it, just so you're aware, so we can see the other aircraft on here. If it was to get too close, everything in here would start yelling. Yep. And again, in real life, we would be reading a magazine, and the autopilot would be doing all this work. Until we get to about, I don't know, 1,000 feet, then we kick it off and land it. There we go. And see the cloud we're going through now. So see how the lighting's changing in here as we go through the clouds. It's really cool. It's very realistic when it comes to that. Especially at sunset, you get quite red in here as we come down. It's beautiful. Yeah, I quite like flying in the evening. And then if you fly at night, you get all the stars. Yeah. There we go. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go, so push forward for me. There we go. Slowly still coming down. To the left towards you. There we go. So we're going to start heading towards Auckland Airport now. So it's going to continue turning to the left and just push forward just a little bit. There we go. So towards the ground. Towards the ground. Ah! That's fine. It's fine. I'm just going to close my eyes.
You have to focus on the
There we go.
on the view.
There we go. No, you're not doing too bad. So we'll pull back just a little bit. There we go. Awesome. We'll slowly start turning this thing speed down just so we can slow down a little bit. There we go. And you can see Auckland Airport dead ahead. There we go. So again, staying on the cross. You've got this. Yeah, and we're going to push forward. There we go. Rightio. So we have a 22 knot crosswind at the moment, so this will be fun for you. So again, pushing forward, staying on that cross for me as we start to come down towards the runway. There we go. Bring the gear out. Flaps 25. Reducing the speed down to 180. Whee! Towards me. There we go. And I'm just going to push forward ever so slightly. So small little movements now as we're on the final approach. So push down a little bit. There we go. Just push away. There we go. We're back on the approach. There we go. Make it look easy now.
Go for a water.
We can't go for the water. We'll be in trouble if we do that. Can't do a Sully, unfortunately.
How far is it ending?
We're about, what are we, 5 nautical miles? Just on, 7.5 nautical miles. There we go. So again, we're going to push forward, get ourselves back on that cross, because now we're locked onto that laser beam, for lack of a better word, and we're coming down towards the runway. Now, quick math for you. What's 140 plus 5?
140 plus 5 is 145.
145. There you go. She's too busy focusing. It's all good. So you take it on the cross. I'm going to bring our speed down to 145, which is going to be our landing speed today. There we go. So pull back. Get yourself back.
Standing on water?
No, back on the cross. There we go.
Pull back.
So stay on that cross, and that cross will take us down to the runway. Okay? We can't land on the water. If we do, I get myself in really big trouble. Okay? It also takes about half an hour to reboot the sim, which I don't want to do. And no one's crashed the simulator yet with me, so don't be the first. There you go. So it kind of looks like we're floating as we're coming in. We're nice and slow, steady, fully configured, ready to land. So we've got our flaps down, we've got the gears down, everything's armed, and you're on the cross as we come in. So about now is where we're like, Auckland Tower, Flyjet 1, we're established, runway 23 left. And they'll be like, radio, Flyjet 1, runway 05 right, clear to land. They'll be like, clear to land, Flyjet 1. There you go, so push down, there we go, and staying back on that cross. There we go. Yeah. Do 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 do. Almost time to go for steak and dinner. It's great. Right. Awesome. So again, continue just trying to keep yourself on the cross. So just turn towards me a little bit. So towards me. There we go. Because what's happening is we're actually fighting the wind as well. So the cross is going to keep you where you need to be. But it's just, I don't know if you've ever sailed a boat before. It's just like fighting the wind when the sailboat. I'm trying to keep yourself in where we need to be. There we go. Yeah, dead ahead. There we go. So we'll push forward just a little bit. There we go. There we go. Do a really good job. There we go. Just a little to the left. You've got it. There we go. Okay. Keep it coming down. One hand here. And when I say now, I want you to bring both throttles back, okay? No, we're going to pull them backwards, but not yet. Not yet. Okay, we're going to pull all the way back down to 0. We let the plane come down. We come just a little to the left. There we go. And it's all about trying to get that rightly on the middle of the runway again, okay? Awesome. That's fine. So slowly start to bring the throttle backwards. And we're just going to tip back a little bit. There we go. Awesome. One hand here and pull these back. There we go. Yay! We did it!
Happy landing.
Yay! Awesome. Welcome back to Auckland Airport. We did it! Yay! So what we'll do is we'll just taxi off the runway, so that's fine. So again, keeping your right knee on the middle of the runway. So again, hands on here, feet onto the pedals. Okay, so right is right, left is left. Okay, and you're gonna try and keep your right knee on the middle line here. Okay. So again, it's all in your feet, not on the stick. Okay. And what we do, see this yellow line here? I want you to put your right knee on that yellow line, and we're gonna follow it off. Yay! Yep, there we go. There we go. And we'll taxi off the runway, so you're going to stay on the yellow line and it will take us off the runway there. Which is kind of cool. And you can see the Novotel out to the left now, international. You've got the domestic terminal with the tower and New Zealand maintenance. There we go. Oops. Obviously quite cloudy outside today. I think there's going to be about 22 hours of rain from what I saw on the news this morning. Yeah, I think from 4 p.m. we're about to get bombarded with rain. So see this yellow line here that's coming across? That's the exit point of the runway. And it's where we end the half-an-hour experience. Yay! High five. Well done. We did it.